to go back into regular session.
So moved. I'll make a motion to go back into regular session.
Second.
Okay, I would take a vote on that. Roll call vote, please, to show just who's there.
Victor,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Shay.
Yes. First announcement, no action was taken in the executive session. The time is essentially 9:19. All right. Now, the next item we had on the list was Melissa wanted to bring up some subjects.
Yes, I just wanted to bring some things up for discussion. What I'm noticing here with the Township Road District, and once again, for those that are watching, I'm concerned about the numbers. I'm a numbers person. So if you can provide the numbers, then I'm okay. But looking at these, I'm looking at some discrepancies here, and the A&E report for salaries shows that his annual budget is $561,000 and $650. So 561,650, and in 9 months ended December 31st, 2018, it only shows that he has paid out $40,744.25. So what I would like to know is, why is the salaries for administration so high? Why did it go up? Why is it at 561,650 when prior commissioners always had their salaries set at 80,000 a year? So I would just like to know why that is so much more, and why all that money is going unused, and why he's putting that in the budget. Also, when I look at his annual report, it also shows a different number. For administration, it shows $621,651.55, which is different than his annual budget here in the A&E report that shows $561,650. So there's discrepancies, and these amounts are different, and I feel that this is poor accounting. And once again, I'm just bringing this up because I'm seeing the numbers, and I'm starting to really be a lot more diligent here on what is spending and on what is not spent on these credits and on all these different things. So if, like, I guess I have a question for you, since we're just discussing, can he transfer that money that's in the salaries for administration to another line item?
No,
so why
would
it be $521,000 more?
That sounds very, I can't answer that. I think that we really need Chuck and Pam here to explain what's going on. And maybe at some point, we may need the accountant that assists them.
This is for the road district. This isn't for the top, like, this is the road district.
But the road district, but the supervisor essentially is keeping those accounts.
Right,
so he's the one, I think, inputting the data. I mean, so
I'm having a hard time, and then with the annual report that I had from quite a long time ago that I've had here, that says 621,651.55. I mean, still, this is like, you know, in all these years, this is large amounts of money, and in all these years, you know,
appropriately, as best you can write it out and submit it. Chuck should be looking into this kind of stuff as the head of our department, rather than individuals going in there, and submit it to Chuck and ask for an explanation. Let him hash it out. All those things that you had, for the most part, we go over and over and over with no explanation. Just here, it's now take it. I'm submitting this to you, and it shouldn't be that way. So what I'm saying is, put all those, whatever you've got questions with it. Now, some of that's on the record.
Well, I just want to make sure you can't transfer that
Really,
additional.
it should be department head against department head asking for an explanation because the supervisor's office is responsible for keeping track also of these.
Sure, he's the treasurer for the road district.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that this money cannot be used to be transferred into, if Gasser was thinking to be transferred for more legal fees.
The only way that a transfer could occur is if you approve a transfer.
And it is only 10%.
10% unless you amend the budget, correct?
Correct. Okay, I just wanted to make sure, and I also just have issues with these discrepancies, so I'm just wanted to bring that.
Well, it's a good idea. It's a good idea to bring
Because
it
I
up
have
because
two
it's not
different-
that, it's not that easy for
Right
us to
here
keep
and
track.
right here,
Yeah,
like I'm not,
I see what you're, no, I understand you. It just-
okay, and then
Like
I
I said,
also,
a
yeah,
written, just put together so that, what happens is if it goes through a couple, 3 people, it's like when you get that rumor where 4 people and the person on this end, and they tell this person, they never know what it's all about. And that's what happens if we do it, you know, person to person to person, rather than directly to Chuck and say, Chuck, this is my problem, I've written it down, I'd like to have an answer.
and I also would like to just make mention that, again, with this uniform allowance money, you know,
It don't appear to be.
it
accountable.
doesn't appear to be accountable, and it appears to go way over and beyond even what our past commissioner, I mean, our past commissioners even have ever spent on clothing allowance. And now he's letting these workers spend all this obscene amount of money, and I'm not understanding all of this. and
It
why this
doesn't
is
matter what
happening.
the explanation is, it's still, actually, you're right as part of this to ask for an explanation. And to
Right.
get,
So I
and
guess-
to get one.
Right, I guess
Okay?
my
So
biggest
that's- and
concern is
I think
that,
you're fully justified. If it's of interest to you to find it and to make sure you get a reliable explanation.
right, so I just wanted to mention those couple things,
I think it's a good idea.
you know, that, you know, we don't need to be wasting all of this money. If it's the taxpayers' money, the taxes, that's a simple thing. I mean, get a tax exempt, you know, we do have tax exempt forms here, correct? That, you know, Mr. Gasser could give to his workers. These are just
Yes.
all, you know, and I just don't know how much money is actually he really has in his budget, because the numbers are changing and the A&E reports are very different from month to month. And I also think we should, this is just for discussion, but that at our next board meeting, maybe we should talk about doing a forensic audit.
One of the things about the numbers changing from month to month that I didn't realize this current administration is doing is when you receive your A&E reports, that's the report that reflects the bills that you're voting on.
Right, no, I
that
understand that.
being taken out. But if you pull bills out, then there's automatically going to be a change. That's
No, I'm
not
talking about like the annual,
huge,
I'm
yeah,
talking about the
annual.
annual budget.
Right,
I'm not talking about the unused, the used. I'm talking
Yeah.
about the annual budget.
Okay.
It seems like there's
Yeah.
shady money going in exchange in these different line items. And I'm very concerned because I don't feel I know what is in the budget.
I have to tell you, I brought up today, if you look at the funds, IMRF, Social Security, there is a budgeted amount of interest, and one of the funds was $6,500, and the line item in there is at 7%, and we're 9 months into the year, and it was about $56, I believe, that's actually in there, which means in the next 3 months, there's going to have to be $6,184 added in interest. So I did ask the supervisor's office to find out about that, because there's interest there, and where is it going? So
Yeah, I'm just confused. I feel like a lot of this just isn't making sense, and maybe it is time to do a forensic audit and get everything looked at detailed, because
and if it's a trading issue,
if it's, that's fine.
you know,
but
let's take care of that.
Let's take care of it. Let's get it done.
That's your job. That's your job to look into that stuff.
Yep.
And that's why they got a group of us, is so that some can look in and have a better experience of what they're looking at. It's hard to keep track of all of it.
So
But
I would
one
like to
person-
know, can I ask for it to be on the agenda for next month, the forensic
Yes.
audit?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And then talk, like I said, talk to Chuck, he's the one who
Right.
puts it together, and we'll see where it goes. That's
Okay.
not big.
Thank you,
Good, very good.
thank you.
I have something to tell you guys. We're gonna kind of try and redo our, Jim and I had talked, I'm having a hard time with the, warrants being signed appropriately. Last month, I got a piece of paper that had no signature from Gassard. There was no warrants with it. It just said, Chuck just said, sign this. I said, I'm not signing it. There's no signature for me to attest. So, plus there's no warrants attached. So we're trying to figure out a way, how we're gonna do this moving forward. So I wanted to give you guys a heads up. You may see
Yeah,
some
keep
different
up.
forms coming through. We're gonna kind of try and change it with Jim's help.
And also remember, if you're emailing, there's a member here who is not an instant
Yes,
email evaluator.
I tried
A
to,
lot of that stuff, just give me a paper copy, or
yes,
you can even throw it, I'm in and checking my mail here twice a week at least.
I try to have Pam print anything off for you, just you, Dan.
Well, just so you know, I've been coming in now, Fridays and Saturdays before
Okay.
the monthly meetings to go over the bills, because I find that a lot of things that were emailed to me, I was not receiving. So
Yeah.
there were bills that I've been missing,
Yeah,
which is why now I have all these papers that I'm printing, because there were things online, I would be getting bills, and all of a sudden, I have a bunch of bills that aren't in there, and then all of a sudden they're added, and I'm like, wait, where did this come from? So if you ever want to meet with me on a Friday or Saturday, I'm going through the bills. Those are the 2 days I can actually sit down, and I'm going through every paper bill and making copies of anything that I find inconsistency
Good.
with, because I cannot trust what is being emailed to me.
I come in during the day, and I generally, when I find things, I talk to either Pam or now Colleen, and they were able to help me today on the things I was concerned about. Okay, anything else?
No.
No? No, let's have that magic motion.
Who's making it?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
I hate to leave.
Break out the air mattress, he's
Come
saying.
on.
I second it.
Okay.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
I
Aye, opposed?
I
Oh. Say nay.
All right. Dave, we're here.
All right, I got that paper for you.